listening to WGSF-DB Digital Broadcasting, Going Solo Network with Bruce Starr, the Luvcoach Show. Like berries on the vine, it gets sweeter all the time.
And welcome to the Luvcoach Show. My name is Bruce Starr. I'm the Luvcoach, and I'm also your host. And I want to thank you so much for stopping by the show. I think you're going to get more out of the information that you will learn from this show than perhaps any other show that I have put out in a very long time. This show is about jealousy and the role that jealousy plays in relationships. Is it a turn on? Or is it an unhealthy turn off? You see, many people have written over the years to me and have asked, how and why do we get into obsessive, jealous relationships? And many of us have found out the hard way, including myself, that there's more to picking out a potential life mate than just by their physical body or pretty or handsome face, or what they have in their bank account. I believe that people who have the most severe problems in their relationships have put great sex, a sexy body, a handsome or pretty face, or another person's position of power, fame, wealth, or income as the most important ingredient for them, for being in a future relationship or for finding a potential mate. And every other aspect of relationships, which used to be much more important, such as kindness, caring, integrity, warmth, commitment, loyalty, appears to come in a second place, a distant second place in importance. Something is very wrong there, and something is very wrong with that. See, very few people either don't realize or don't recognize why they choose sexuality, beauty, fame, or fortune over kindness and decency. Those that have not found peaceful, loving, and supportive relationships can look at this information for the reason for their dissatisfaction and for answers to their confusion. The reason why so many of us experience jealousy is because we choose one person who we are physically attracted to, or the person we most physically or financially need in our lives, and see that person as the answer to our happiness. When we first meet someone we are attracted to, we fear that they may eventually reject us or not find us able to satisfy their needs. When that happens, these same people become the source of our unhappiness. How else do fears create jealous relationships? If we decide that someone is worth spending time with, we go into this fearful state that they may not want to be with us again, return our love that we see us giving to them, and we assign them a special role and put them up on a pedestal, similar to the one some of us put our parents onto or that first love onto. Why? Because they are wealthy, beautiful, sexy, and we fear losing them. We really fear that once we get together and form a relationship, they will change their mind. And we become very insecure the moment we fall for a person, primarily for their physical looks or sexual abilities. And many times for women, it's for a man's social status, possessions, or the amount of money that he makes. Now, why are some people jealous and protective of their lovers? You know, jealous people know that if they are with a sexy or handsome person, those very same traits can attract many other people. If they are feeling insecure about themselves, they act out in a jealous fashion. You see, they know on some level in their mind that another wealthy, sexy, or beautiful person can come along and replace them. That is why they do not want their mates to go out anywhere or do anything socially without them. The jealous person fears their lover will meet someone else and replace them as their mate. You know, this happens quite often with people whose first requirement for relationship is to be with a healthy, beautiful, or sexy person because they do not base the foundation of the relationship on a deeper and more sensitive and meaningful criteria. They have a nagging feeling that another handsome or sexy person, a richer or more powerful person, can come along and replace them. If physical or monetary needs are the most important thing to that person, more important than the deeper, more emotional connection between two people that, by the way, is much more difficult to split up and split apart, he or she can change their mind and decide to start again with someone who appears to present a richer, more plush lifestyle. Now, where do these thoughts about jealousy originate? You know, there's a loving side of our mind that cares and likes everyone. This is because deep inside, we know all people come from the same source and in some way or another are all related to each other. Then there's another side of our mind, a darker side, a more limiting side. Some people call it the ego, a part of our mind that thinks in incomplete thoughts and concepts, that forgets all that over the years and believes that we need to fear and protect ourselves from everyone we come in contact with. It comes from a mistaken place in our mind where we view life as if there's a shortage of everything we want. This ego, dark, negative side of our mind believes there is never enough of what we want and that there's a shortage of everything we need. That part of our mind is destructive and believes to get what we want, we must take it from somebody else. Love, sex, money, and power are just some of the things the limited dark side of our mind thinks we don't have enough of. This limited place in our thinking wants what other people have, and we judge ourselves harshly if we don't have any of it or enough of it. This creates a love-hate relationship with everyone who comes into our lives who seems to have what we want. This is a very important concept to understand. People who come mostly from their egos, who come from a limited mind space, they have to understand that this is the way they think. That when you do approach someone as a potential mate, an ego-minded person approaches someone as a potential mate, they do have this love-hate relationship, meaning they love you and can hate you at the exact same time. That's not really true. You can't love and hate at the same time. But they love you, love you, love you until you take a wrong step in the wrong direction that threatens their security of having you. And this happens a lot when a man or a woman gives their power away to another person, thinking that this other person is the source of their complete happiness. Now, what's scary and interesting about this kind of thinking. And anyone who's been involved with jealous people, you think back on your relationship with them, and you will come to shake your head and agree that when you're involved with someone who needs another person too much, it makes the other person not just a lover, but the enemy who can change their minds at any time. If you have what I want, you become the person I must trick to give me what I want. Let's take a break. You're listening to The Love Coach Show with your host, Bruce Starr. I'm the Love Coach. When we come back, a lot more information about jealousy, so please don't go away.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Welcome back to the Love Coach Show, everybody. My name is Bruce Starr. I am the Love Coach. You know, I've been studying relationships for over 40 years. I'm a student of relationships. I've studied several different philosophies on life with some of the great teachers and masters in the world. And I've learned a lot along the way. And that's why I'm here to share with you what I've learned. And I hope you get a lot out of it. Okay, in love and especially in sex, here's how jealous people think. If you have the body I want, you become the person I need to take from to feel good about myself. That is the reason why during certain dates, when a man gets too aggressive or even when a woman gets too aggressive and the other person just isn't ready, it turns into a wrestling match of people trying to get their own needs met, perhaps at the expense of the other person. Now, let's say a lady or a man has the body you have been searching for to experience for yourself. You see them as the person keeping you from your sexual gratification, especially if he or she does not see you the same way that you see them. That other person is not as attracted to you as you are to them. And if the other person needs more time to become intimate with you before they are willing to have sex with you, it's very reasonable. Some people need more time. And when you meet someone who needs more time, you should celebrate that, not reject them. Celebrate the person who's being open and honest with themselves and with you, that they need more time to warm up to you, this new person. And that person who you are directing your attention to soon becomes the object, the person who possesses what you have, and you see them as who you need to manipulate or control to get what you want, to satisfy your own desires. Now, let's talk more about how the jealous mind thinks. To the dark, closed, limited, jealous mind, there is no other body, sex, or source of money or security out in the world except their current romantic interest. You see, people love being the center of someone's interest. They think it's exciting. They think it's sexy. They think it's a turn-on when someone loves them so much that they get so jealous when they talk to other people. Now, here's where the problems arise. You see, they realize that the other person who they're interested in can become as fickle and changeable as they are. They know their current relationship interest can change their mind and leave them out in the cold. They know they could be replaced. That's what their mind tells them. That dark, limited mind tells them they're not good enough, they're not sexy enough, they're not rich enough, they're not anything enough. And when they think this way, they need to take drastic steps to keep the person that they're interested with them. You see, their self-worth has depended on how handsome or pretty they look and how powerful a man or woman they walk along on the street arm in arm with. Having that trophy boyfriend or girlfriend makes them feel good, makes them feel warm, makes them feel powerful. Hey, there's nothing wrong with walking arm in arm with a very attractive person, but it shouldn't be the way that you feel good about yourself. It should be, or could be, because two wonderful, exciting people found each other, and they're just loving the experience that they're having. You see, here's where it gets difficult. They fear they need to have a desirable, successful person in their life to make them feel good or important. Since how they feel or appear to other people is very, very important, they need to have an impressive mate to impress the world. The thought of losing a person who has temporarily achieved that goal for them can throw them into a panic. To protect what they have, they feel they need to keep their mate away from anyone who could be a threat. They also push aside people who are rude to those who appear to be a potential threat. Now, how can you tell if you're in a jealous relationship? You know, most people have been in a jealous relationship one time or another, and it's very important that you're able to differentiate the difference between an exciting, loving relationship and a fear-based, jealous relationship. Okay, if you meet someone and feel jealousy every time that person speaks to someone else, you may feel that you must love this person the way this makes you feel. This may feel like love, but it is not. It is fear-based. And anything that's fear-based cannot be love. Love is open, love is warm, love is sweet, love is light, love is bright. Jealousy is dark and possessive and angry and fearful. It is the fear of loss of the one you want to be with, and is the fear your needs not being taken care of by a person you decide is special is what brings out jealousy. You can tell you're in a jealous relationship or in a relationship with a jealous person when they make decisions for you as far as who you should or should not talk to, should or should not be with. If this has happened to you, you know what's coming next. If it hasn't, you need to be aware that you are in a relationship with a person who seems to love you, who seems to want you so badly, but is really just coming from fear and limitation. The jealous person is always most preoccupied with having their needs met first. Don't forget that. It's not about you. It may seem like you getting your needs met until you step in the wrong direction and make them feel threatened. Now, you might not even think that right away because you're getting an immense amount of attention and adoration. This is given to you to trap you in a web of deceit. They do not shower you with attention unconditionally for you. This adoration and attention is to make you feel as secure and as admired as possible, so you will not leave them, so you will want this attention. It comes from their deliberate decision to give you certain things in order to get something back in return. Very, very important. Let me say it again. This attention comes from their deliberate decision to give you certain things in order to get more important things back in return from you. Now, here are some other ways to tell you are getting involved with a jealous person. As a matter of fact, before we do that, let's take a break. And when we come back, ways to tell you're getting involved with a jealous person. You're listening to the Luvcoach Show. My name is Bruce Starr. When we come back, more about jealousy. Don't go away.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Welcome back to the Luvcoach Show. My name is Bruce Starr. I am the Luvcoach, and I'm the host. Hey, I've been hosting this show for about 4 years now and put out a lot of information and interviewed some incredible people. And you can find much more about my shows on YouTube and a lot of other places. Just look up Luvcoach, L-U-V Coach, Bruce Starr, and you will get a lot of information. You can check out my website, theopenheartmovement.com. theopenheartmovement.com. And you can also find me on Facebook on The Luvcoach, L-U-V Coach, and several other sites on Facebook that are hosted by myself. So thank you for coming back, and I'm really excited to be able to share this information about jealousy that I really have not shared before. So here are some other ways, as promised, to tell you how to know you are getting involved with a jealous person. Number one, they seem to think they know what is best for you. Number two, they discount your ability to make proper decisions for yourself. Number three, they will always find ways to limit or stop your relationships with members of the opposite sex, family, or friends. Now, after hearing this information that I've been sharing with you, it's amazing how many people stay with jealous lovers. So why do people stay with jealous lovers? You know, at first, jealous people flower you with that attention I told you about. They sense that many insecure people are used to being with unemotional or unresponsive lovers. This jealous person knows if they offer a lot of special attention, the person will stay with them to continue receiving what is being offered. They do not yet realize that whatever is being offered by the jealous lover will cost greatly in due time. Jealous people appear to be so self-absorbed by you. My God, is this good for your ego? They make you feel so wanted, so needed, and so special. If you have not been given this kind of attention before, this excites you and touches a place in your mind you feel you needed healing. Because you do not treat yourself special or have not been treated well by others in the past, manipulative people can pick this up in you. They can pick up at this need in you to be treated special. If they see you truly think you crave this attention, they will give it to you. And that's how they strike. You are at first charmed by their need to know everywhere you have been, what you do, and everyone you have talked to, until you have spoken to someone who sounds like a threat. If you are an emotionally needy person, at first, your ego is boosted getting so much attention. You are thrilled that someone thinks you are so important and so special to their lives that they want to know everything about you. Anyone at first might like the idea of being so aggressively pursued. After a short while, an independent person caught off guard, a person with a most of the time, higher self-image, a more secure person will become irritated with someone who wants to know everything about their lives, about their business. As soon as the jealous person suggests, you don't do this or you shouldn't do that, a free-thinking and self-confident person will feel someone is attempting to take away their freedom to do, to go, where they want, and do what they want. This self-designed person, this person with, for the most part, higher self-esteem and higher self-consciousness, will lose interest. A confident, healthy thinker knows they do not want to get into a relationship with someone who will want them to compromise many of their interests. They don't want to change the very essence of who they are because they are happy the way they are. Only an unhappy, insecure person would allow another person to change their lifestyle and personality. If the possessiveness becomes too obvious, too soon, even an unhealthy person may want to get out of this relationship, but it might already be too late. If this happens, the jealous person will amp up and will try even harder to keep you. They will use everything in their power to keep things the way it was, even if they have to use physical force or the threat of it to make their love interest stay with them. Listening to the Luvcoach show, if you'd like me to talk about a subject, all you have to do is contact me at Luvcoach, Luvcoach, at AOL.com. Thank you so much for listening.